I think that playing the cimbalom is probably one of the most difficult instruments we have at this moment. Yeah. The Blue Man cimbalom is distinctive different from any other. And the cimbalom is a known instrument, an old-fashioned known instrument, which should have a chromatic layout of chromatic means all the notes are there for your nose. Our cimbalom obviously doesn't have that. Our cimbalom is made specifically for the songs we play. And if I say specifically for the songs we play, the important thing is how the player, in a Blue Man in this case, makes his moves whilst playing this instrument.
One of the things in the process of both writing, creating, recording Blue Man music is always remembering the character, trying to understand the role of the character within the music. And this can be very literal in terms of what would a Blue Man play, or it can be more, just the emotional state of the music. It's a different way of making choices when you're making music, which I love. I love strange limitations or parameters that shift your decision-making process. So that's a constant in working on Blue Man music. The other thing is no one really understands the character as well as those who have played the character. When we're trying to recreate the role of Blue Man just in an audio world, I think it's really important because they're bringing knowledge and experience of what that character is. And that's also something that's very interesting to me working in this company is even though there are set guidelines on what that character is, every single Blue Man is bringing his own spin on it, and their character comes through on these tracks.
I'll play the bridge. The bridge goes.
So it's funny, when we think about the performers on this record, it wasn't like, rehearse up the band and get in the studio. I mean, it was like that to some degree because we don't sit around and practice all the time, There are performers in each one of our locations, obviously. They're doing it every night, and those guys are in great shape on all the instruments. But with composing, it's a little different. You tend to do it little bits at a time, especially with the Blue Man thing, because it tends to be very layered. So it was really important to have performers who were up to snuff to come in and lay down tracks.
The great thing about the world of Blue Men is that they have come to this company from different places. So you have actors, you have musicians, you have people that have specific skill sets that are just that are fantastic, and you have obviously artists who are all bringing their own unique energy. I had worked with Brian Scott outside of Blue Man. He's an extremely talented musician and artist, and he has a very unique approach to music, which I love. There's something playful about it with him. When it came to recording the Cimbalom, I knew that he could physically do it. He could figure out the instrument, but I knew that there was gonna be something in his personality. He's like half Joker, half mad scientist. And it can be a very frustrating instrument to play because it's always going out of tune. There's like 100 some odd strings. There's all sorts of dampening mechanisms and different places on the body that you have to hit for different parts. And I knew that he had the focus to really sort of embrace that instrument as his own, but I also knew he had the weird Brian Scott thing that was gonna make it his own thing, and he did fantastic.
It would have been really easy, I think, to have come up just with some bizarre, atonal, avant-garde music, because, you look at these bald blue weirdos and, that's probably the easiest thing you would imagine, or some sci-fi, 70s synthesizer music or something like that. But that's where the tribal, earth music comes into play. We want these characters to have that feeling, not like they're, C-3PO or something like that. So, for instance, Balinese music was a big influence because it's tribal and percussive and repetitive, but they use a lot of metal. And we sort of found some similarities, like, well, what if we do that kind of stuff, but do it on the plastic pipes and PVC? And then it was, I think, a logical step to say, well, what if we use some metal, but we weren't going to do exactly what they do? So more strings started to find their way into what we do. So the Cimbalom was one of those that came in pretty early.